So what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel once again. You know I appreciate having you here. Now I'm out again on this little beauty here, the Honda CRF450L. And I know what you're thinking, you've already done a review on this, and yes, I have, but if you have read the thumbnail, you will know this one's a little bit different. This one has the power up kit on it. This has 780 pounds worth of power up on it, and now it's the bike we were supposed to get in the UK in the bloody first place. So I'm going to take it out today, take it through its paces. I mean, not at a professional level. We all know my skill level. If you watch my channel, you know how skilled I am at this. I have got new gloves on though, so obviously that makes me slightly better than I was before I bought them. The crux of this video is this now has 40% more power. It's now on a par with what they get across the pond in the United States of America. So stick around for this video. Thank you very much for sticking around. Now we're going to start this video on tarmac, and then we're going to head to some dirt roads. I just want to get used to the throttle response, the power differences, and get used to the bike a little bit before I take it off-road, because you know I'm not that skillful. I'm quite new at this off-road malarkey, but we're going to have some fun anyway. I'm going to park up and I want to show you the tyres, because the first thing I would change is the tyres. It makes such a difference, trust me. So we're not going to be pushing it like your off-road motocross supercross style-y, no. First of all, before we get into the main running around of this video, is thank you very much to Doble's Motorcycles. They're the ones that have fitted this kit. Their website and links will be down below in the descriptions box, so go and check them out. And I believe they are offering this kit free of charge if you buy one of the next 4 450Ls. That's really hard to say, there's too many 4s in that. Basically, if you get one of the next 4, you're in for a treat. You've got this power up kit on it. So phone them, give them a shout for details, and they're also doing some finance packages on these bikes as well. So again, go down below, check out their website, give them a call, you can get all the details on that. When it comes to specifications, I'm not going to drop the specifications for this bike down below, because with the kit that all changes. So you can go back to my original video and it will be down there, the original specifications for this bike from Honda. So if you want to do that, go and check that out, or just go to Honda's website. That's probably a lot easier. Anyway, I'm gonna, as I said, have a little bit of tarmac fun before we hit the dirt, get used to the throttle, the weight and everything about the bike, and then we're gonna go and have a bit of a play. I'm not gonna go up this dirt road, don't worry, this is someone's house. I just want to show you the tyres, what we're working with here. As I said before, I've already done a first impressions review on this, so go and check that out. I'm not going to run through everything with you again, all the titanium bits, all the fancy bits, all the blah blah blahs. I'm not going to do that, but I do want to show you these tyres. These are the ones that come standard with it. I don't know what make they are. They are IRC Trails GP. I personally would change these straight away. I had something similar on my CRF450. They're okay on the road, on the tarmac, they're pretty good. But when you get it off-road, they lack a little bit of grip. And when you're at my level, you need all the help you can get. So let's see how much quicker this thing feels on a tarmac. Let's have a play. And already you can feel the difference. It's got a hell of a lot more shove. I mean, it had quite a bit of torque low down anyway, but now it seems to carry on further, and it's a lot more responsive. This definitely feels like the bike it should have been the first time round. And as I said, these tyres are okay on this sort of thing. It's just when it gets really slippery, they come to their limit pretty quickly, as we will probably find out a little bit later. I mean, considering this is basically not a lot of power, my god, it's fun. The throttle response feels sharper than it was before, and it's nice. It can be a little bit snatchy at low speeds if you're riding normally, but if you're playing around, having a bit of fun, giving it all makes sense. Just feel that back skipping out slightly. And please be aware, this bike does not come with ABS, so don't rely on hammering on that front brake like you would with your normal bikes. Oh, this is so much better. My God, this is so much better. I'll tell you what, before it had torque, it had a lot of torque low down. So I said at the time it was enough for me. Obviously beginning this off-road malarkey, it's plenty for me. But now, oh, it's got some nice shove to it. Feels really good. I can see why they love it in America. I can see why over here it kind of slumped a little bit. It didn't make sense because everyone was hung up on power figures and things like that. But now you've got this power kit on it, I tell you what, this bike makes a shitload of sense. I mean, not if you want smooth comfort, travel all day, every day kind of bike, but if you want, I won't say hooligan, but if you want a slightly hooligan bike, a slightly on the edge road dual purpose bike, a dual sport. I mean, to me, this is what a dual sport should be, a low capacity. Obviously a bigger capacity dual sport is designed to take your distance, but this is designed to munch up the tarmac before you get to the dirt bits. I mean, you can sit on the motorway this at 70 miles an hour, it's not a problem, it does that. I've topped it out in private on a private road just over 90 miles an hour. It'll probably go a little bit faster if I had the room. So you're not going to worry about that on motorways and stuff like that. That's not going to be a problem. It is a little bit vibey and the seat's a little bit hard for distance travel. You can remedy the seat, you can buy aftermarket stuff, so that's not a problem. But you've got to expect it to be a vibey. This is basically an off-road bike that they've made into a dual sport. This is not a road bike that they've made into a dual sport. But what we're going to do now is head to some dirt. I've been given permission by Dobles. Now, they don't usually do this with their demo bikes and test rides, but they love me so much down there, they're allowing me to get this thing dirty. It is absolutely pristine clean at the moment, but it's not going to be in about half an hour. I'm going to take it down some dirt roads, some green lanes, and have a little bit of fun. As I've said, and I've already showed you, the tyres are a little bit sketchy off-road. And because it's a new bike, and it's a showroom bike, it's been on the showroom floor, obviously they've polished it, which means they've polished the tank. This bit's been polished, so when I stand up, my knees are just sliding. There's no grip whatsoever on the tank, so that's going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to see if I can rub some of this polish off with the inside of my glove. It might work, it might not, you never know. And the bars are a bit low, so when I stand up, I'm really over the front rather than leaning back where I want to be. So it's a little bit of a different position that I'm used to being in. But we're going to have a go anyway. Again, before we get into the off-road bit, I just want to show you this. This is the air intake, or the outlet, the intake. No, this is the air intake. I'll get there in a minute. I told you I'm a professional. This is the air intake that was originally on the bike, next to the one they fit with this new kit. So you can see how much of a strangulation that airbox is getting from that. That's amazing. And I have to say as well, while I remember, is I haven't dropped any pressures in these tyres. These are the full tyres that come out of the factory and running on full road pressures. So considering that and my limited amount of skill, we are not doing too bad at all. Oh, Jesus! Oh, I slowed down a bit too much then and stalled. That's where bar risers come in handy. I was so far over the front that I nearly went face first into the mud. That's the first time I stalled it. Unfortunately, it was coming out of a puddle. I might not leave that bit in. Now my wing mirror's come loose. Let's just adjust that. Problem is now turning the bottom one. I don't have a spanner. I don't think this thing has a toolkit. Right, couldn't find a toolkit, so it's come off. It's now strapped to the back. Luckily this trade plate has got some elastic with it, so I'm hoping that'll still be there at the end of the ride. It's nicer than the 250 because you can just pick up the front wheel really easily. It's weird, sitting down on the road, this seat felt quite hard and uncomfortable. I mean, not a deal breaker, but a little bit, as I said, hard. But once you get off-road and you sit down, it all makes sense. It actually works really well. It doesn't feel too uncomfortable because you're moving about all the time. It didn't stall that time, fantastic, different puddle, but that one was actually deeper. And now I am absolutely soaked all over. I don't know if you can see my legs. Oh dear. We're going to hit a little bit more tarmac, a little bit more of these back lanes until we hit, yeah, guessed it, a few more dirt roads. But we're going to have some fun. I just want to tell you a little bit about the road characteristics of this. It's a lot faster now. It's a lot better on the pickup. Wants to wheelie in first, and in second you can pick the front wheel up. Not that I'm a wheelie god or anything like that. It's just in the terms of, I know it's got more there to help you over logs and little bits off-road and stuff like that. It feels like it wants to come up a little bit more. It's still a raw bike on the road. This is an off-road bike made for the road, not a road bike made for off-road, if that makes sense. The more I ride it, the more I love it. It's mad. This bike would cost me even more money, not just because of the upgrades, but I'd have to get Supermoto wheels for this. Because on roads that I'm about to go down on 17-inch wheels, oh, this thing would fly. I mean, it's pretty good on this 21-inch front wheel and these stock tyres. I have to say that, it's pretty good on these. I haven't come unstuck, I haven't felt unstable on the road at all. A little bit in the mud, but not on the road. In these dry conditions, they're pretty good. And also what I've noticed is coming down here is on some big dual carriageways just now, you can stick this in top gear at 40 and it'll chug all the way up to 90, 70, 80, 90, no problem in top gear from 40. It pulls just nicely. You don't have to fight the gearbox so much. As you can see, she flies up these little country lanes, unlike behemoths like that. See, it's got enough grunt to get around the slower moving vehicles on these roads. Right, coming into a village now, so slow down. Yeah, the lanes are fun, but remember to slow down for the villages, people. Not the village people, the villages people. I'm getting used to this bike. I'm loving it. Yeah, it's raw, it's a bit raw. But that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to make you feel alive. Again, as you can see, it's a bit muddy. And a little bit bouncy. But even with these stock tyres, she handled that absolutely sweetly. I don't know what I was going to say then. Oh, a bit slidey there. I might do a lot of this sitting down, to be honest. Only because these bars are a bit low. I'm feeling the tyres slide around in this mud. It's a shame. It's a shame it hasn't got proper off-road tyres on, and it's a shame that it's not dry enough to go a little bit quicker. I tell you where this bike's nice off-road is going downhill. The engine braking on it is so good because it's a big single. It's got a nice bit of engine braking going downhill, so you can just kind of let off the throttle and just roll down and the engine does the braking for you. It's really lovely. But stick it in second, not going to touch the brakes at all, and just sits there nicely. This is quite steep. Actually, I'm going to stick it in third. Second was a bit too much. I still haven't touched the brakes. I might have to in a minute because it's getting muddy down here, and I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick it back in second because this bit's really steep. Still haven't touched the brakes, back or front, and we're just rolling down the gradient. It's really nice for that. I really do like that. Plus it saves you on brake pads and brake discs. This is a nice little lane, this one. It's got sand in it as well, so a bit of mud, a few dips, some sand, some twists, some turns. Show up all my flaws basically. It jumps really nice. My CRF, the 250, it goes down front heavy, whereas this goes down back wheel first, which is so much more confidence inspiring. This is where I've got to sit back on the sand and let the bike work a little bit for itself. Yeah, it's nice in the sense that it's got that power to bring the back round, to bring you online. Although the front doesn't want to seem to catch up with the back, to be honest. Yeah, I can feel the front really pushing in this sand, whereas the back sliding around really nicely. Oh, she certainly is fun. I can't deny that. I've lost the wing mirror. I've got to go and find it now. I found it. It's broken. I've got to explain this. Oh dear, this is probably one test ride that Dobles are not going to be happy with. There's nothing wrong with that. Bit of gaffer tape. I'm going to send him a picture, see what he says. So I've stuck it back in there. It is all over the place, but obviously that's going to flap around a bit, so I'm going to have to take it easy. It's going to be very distracting for the video as well, I know, but at least we got the mirror back. He's not going to like the condition it's in, but it's back. And anyway, back to enjoying the bike. I need a little bit of momentum. And the right gear, of course, always helps. Apologies about this if it's distracting you. It's not about that. It's about the fun we can have on the bike. And that is shitloads. Back into the sand, back on the seat, constant throttle. Right, so I'm going to end the video here with a little bit of a conclusion on this bike. It's not a summary like I normally do on my reviews of would I buy it or would I not buy it, although I am going to tell you that at the end, but you might already know what the answer to that is. But it's my opinion on this upgrade kit, this power upgrade kit, and I can safely say it's transformed the bike. It was good before, I liked it before, I liked the amount of torque it had, but it was just lacking something. But now it's got that. Obviously you can put a new exhaust on it and that'll free it up just a little bit more as well. But all in all, for me, it's probably the perfect amount of power now. You know what I mean? It's not too scary and it's not slow at all, which is great. That's what we want. Because I don't want a scary bike and I don't want a slow bike. It's that nice, happy, medium balance. I mean, if you want a proper off-road opinion on it, I'm sure there's loads out there, but go to the American website, don't go to the UK one, because on the UK all it does is kind of put this bike down because of the lack of power. But now it's got this kit on, it's basically on a par with the USA, so go and check those videos out and it'll give you a great idea of what this handles like from those proper off-road riders. Obviously this opinion here is just my own, and it's an opinion of a YouTuber, basically, a guy that rides bikes. I'm not a professional bike rider or a journalist, as you know, so it's just my opinion and how I get on with it and what I feel about it. I've always said it's horses for courses. What I might like, you might not like, and vice versa. So go and test ride all the bikes you want to ride, and then you'll get an idea of how they come to suit you. But for me, as a would I buy this bike, yeah, 100% I'd have this in my garage. It's an absolute blast. But I would do a few more things to it. I would stick an exhaust on it. I would free up that noise and that little bit more power. And I would get a set of supermoto wheels and go and have a blast on the country lanes. Because you can have two bikes in one with this. Get yourself a set of supermoto wheels and the suspension is good enough on the road that you can have a laugh with it. I mean, it's pretty good on these tyres, and these are just the bog standard ones, so you can imagine how good this would be on supermoto rims. Right, so that just leaves me to end the video. So once again, thank you very, very much to Doble's Motorcycles down in Coulsdon for lending me this bike for the day to do the video on this power up kit. Apologies about the mirror, and once again the link to their website is down below. Go and give them a call, go and drop in, have a coffee, say the fish sent you, do what you need to do down there, but most of all, go find Ian and give him a huge hug. He loves it. So don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, to do all those things that you need to do. Also hit that notification bell so you guys can get a drop on these videos. I shall see you on the next one. Thank you very much for coming along. You know I love you all. Stay safe. Fish out.
Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong, so go ahead, get gone. Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong, so go ahead and get gone.